little guy. I'm making him mad. Making the bees mad. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you what survived the Arctic blast about 2 weeks ago. It got really low here in Tennessee for us, way abnormal. We don't get those low of temperatures. We're big sissies, but we usually have really warm, mild winters, and a lot of our plants and our shrubs and my stuff in my greenhouse either didn't make it or is not doing well. So I'm going to show you what survived and what didn't. Okay, I feel like it looks like carnage happened in here. Okay, so I'm trying to stay away from the bees because the bees have found my lemon tree that is blooming, but I'm going to go inside and show you without getting stung. Look at my lime. It's so sad. See, this is my key lime. Look at the carnage. Look at all the leaves. It literally went into pure shock. And look at the tops. I don't know if you can see that. See how brown they are? Oh, anything that was touching any of the panels has died back. And some of the little limes are falling off. I mean, you can see all the leaves is coming. If I shake this, it's just more falling down because it did not do well, because the temperature dropped so rapidly where I'm at in Knoxville that it didn't have enough time. My heater didn't have enough time. My greenhouse heater didn't have enough time to keep it warm in here. It was struggling hardcore. I think the lowest it got in here was like 34. So it was really close to freezing. Even with the heater going, it was trying its best, but we had temperatures at like 1. Maybe it was -1. It was hovering around right there is where it hovered. It stayed there. So my tree is suffering. I'm going to show you my other stuff in here that's not doing well either now. Like, this is my orange, and you can see all the brown tops. Anything that was against it is dying back. You can see it's just like my plants just went into pure shock. Let's see, here's my avocado tree. Let me see if I can get some done. You see all the brown? It's completely dead, and then you have leaves that are just freaking out. Let me pull one off here. I don't know if you can see that. All the spots, it's like, it just literally, oh, look at my tree. It didn't do well. It's still dropping leaves. This one is in complete shock right now. I'm going to have to baby this one, hopefully, and it won't die. I don't think it's going to die, but I think it is in severe shock at the moment, my key lime. But this one is not in shock, but it is dropping some leaves. Where you can see where the tender foliage was. That's just dead now. It didn't do well because it was so low in here, and it's not been that low in here because I usually keep it warmer. Let's see. My palm, see the brown leaves? Anything that was touching on this side is getting brown leaves because the panels right here were completely encrusted in ice. Inside is where the ice was, but it was like in the 40s in here, but the ice was like, it was a barrier. It was weird. The ice wasn't on the outside, it was on the inside. I guess it was from the condensation before, but I think this one will be fine. It's not in shock like my key lime. Now, this lemon did fine because the heater's pointed right at it, so that one didn't suffer at all. But my key lime has just wanted to bite the dust. Poor thing. And then I have my lemon. He didn't do that bad. Some of the places where it touched, it got some brown, but otherwise it did okay. And you can tell it's blooming right now. But my key lime, man, that thing is not doing well. I'm gonna have to clean all this out. It's not good to leave it in here when it goes into this yucky shock. I'm going to take all that out and baby this. Hopefully it will come back just fine. And I want to talk about garlic, because I have some in pots and some in the ground. You can see where the garlic was. See, that was the tops. Now this did die back, but don't worry, the garlic inside is fine. So don't automatically think you have to dig up all your garlic. It's dead. It's not dead. It's fine. It will start to come back. It's already starting to come back. They're very hardy. They'll be fine. But one thing that was not hardy was my poor rosemary. It looks terrible. Now, I don't know if this is dead or not, okay? Even though it looks black and brown, this could still be alive. So don't automatically assume that if one of your shrubs or something is black or brown, that it bit the dust, because that's not true. It might just be just like the limbs right here that you can cut off later and try to trim it and save it, because you never know. I've seen online some people say that their lelands, some of their shrubs, their hollies, they've turned brown after the Arctic blast because it got down way lower than it's supposed to. They're not supposed to get that low. But you don't know the extent of the damage until you wait until spring. If you just wait to trim anything until spring, you should be able to know what's alive and what's dead. So I'm not even going to trim this, even though part of it, it's still got a little bit of give. It's got a tiny bit of green. I know you can't see that, but it's a tiny bit of green, so it still has life in it. Don't trim it. Leave it alone. A lot of the stuff that I have, I didn't think was going to do well, but it did. This is my hardy kiwis. They're doing great. This has beasted it out. It's amazing. I know it should go lower. So this one, I didn't think anything was going to happen to it. And then my figs are all alive. I checked them already. They're all doing great. And then I checked my Russian pomegranate. I didn't know if this was going to make it. And I know it's supposed to go down to low temperatures, but last year I had a lot of damage from the cold, which was weird. But I had a lot of damage, and then I had to cut it back severely, and this is all new growth for this. And I checked it, and it is green, so it's still alive. Very happy about that. There's my garlic beds. You can see they died down a lot, but they're still alive. Leave them alone. They'll be fine. And one thing that did die back, but it's starting to spring back, which I don't know how, is my spinach. Can you see that? All this spinach and going up over here. There's spinach popping back up. And it all died off with that really cold weather, but it's popping back up. And all my lettuce, had lettuce, beautiful lettuce all through here, dead. I had Swiss chard and bok choy up there, a ton of it. I tried to harvest as much as I could before it got really cold, and it all died. All my kale died, everything died. The only thing coming back is spinach. See, there's more spinach popping up. Hopefully it pops back on its own and I don't have to replant it. But all right, I came over and checked my lelands. They look great still, but you can see the brownish hue on the leaves right here. That's a little bit of frost damage, but otherwise they look great still. So I haven't had any damage to my leland so far. All right, went around looking. Some of my petties. This is Laura petalum. This is the dwarf variety. Some of my petties have damage on their leaves, and some of it might just be from it shedding. I checked all my plants, even not just in my garden, in all my beds. All my monkey grass has damage, but I'm not worried about that because you chop that down anyways and it grows up brand new in the spring. My Laura petalums, I showed you that has some frost damage and some little bit of frost damage on my lelands, but none of mine have turned black and none of them are brown or black, and they're not dying, so I got lucky with that. But I see some of my neighbor's bushes are completely black, so he's gonna have to wait till spring before he knows if they're alive or not. But remember, don't pull anything out yet. Give it a chance. You can see some of my stuff, my poor citruses didn't do well. At least one of them. The rest of them, they did okay, but I'm gonna have to cut off all the dead parts on those. and really baby that lime because it's so sad. It's in severe shock. Sometimes your plants can go into shock, especially in the winter, right when like summer ends, then it goes to winter and you have severe temperature changes and it doesn't get as much sun, it does go into shock. But this one was shocked from the cold and from, I'm guessing, the ice that encrusted on the inside, which is the weirdest thing. It had to be from condensation from me watering or something. But remember, don't write off your plants yet. Give them a chance. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.